Hi, I'm Joseph from section IT 2102, and in today's video, I will do some activities about the Pocket Tracer. To do the activities, I will use the app Cisco Pocket Tracer installed on my laptop. The activities provide instructions to use as a guide and for us to do the activities. So now let's start to do the activities. The first activity is all about Pocket Tracer, navigating the OS. Topology. And you can see here is the topology. Objectives. Part 1. Establish basic connections, access the CLI, and explore help. Part 2. Explore exact modes. Part 3. Set the clock. Background. In this activity, you will practice skills necessary for navigating the Cisco's iOS, such as different user access modes, various configuration modes, and common commands used on a regular basis. You will practice accessing the context-sensitive help by configure the clock command. Part 1. Establish basic connections, access the CLI, and explore help. In part 1 of this activity, you will connect a PC to a switch using a console connection and explore various command modes and help features. So now I will open the Cisco Pocket Tracer. I will get a PC, select on the topology, name it PC1, and then a network device, a switch, 29060 switch, the instruction. Step 1. Connect PC1 to S1 using a console cable. Click the connections icon, the one that looks like a lightning bolt, in the lower left corner of the Pocket Tracer window. Press this one, press this one. Select the light blue console cable by clicking it. The mouse pointer will change to what appears to be a connector with a cable dangling from it. Click PC1. A window displays an option for an RS-232 connection. RS-232. Select this. Drag the other end of the console connection to the S1 switch and click the switch to access the connection list. Select the console port to complete the connection. Complete the connection of console port. Step 2. Establish a terminal session with S1. Click PC1 and then select the desktop tab. Press the PC1. Desktop. Click the terminal application icon. Verify that the port configuration default settings are correct. What is the settings for bits? Click OK. Step 3. Explore the iOS help. The iOS help can provide help or commands depending on the level accessed. The prompt currently displayed is called user exec, and the device is waiting for a command. The most basic form of help is type question mark at the prompt to display a list command. Press enter. Let's try. And you can see these are the commands and its corresponding functions. At the prompt, type T and then a question mark. Set a telnet terminal trace route. At the prompt, type TE and then a question mark. TE question. It says telnet terminal. This type of help is known as context-sensitive help. It provides more information as the commands are expanded. Part 2. Explore exec modes. In part 2 of this activity, you will switch to privilege exec mode and issue additional commands. Step 1. Enter privilege exec mode. At the prompt, type the question mark. Type EN and press the tab key. This is called command completion. When part of the command is typed, the tab key can be used to complete the partial command. If the characters typed are enough to make the command unique, as in the case of the enable command, the remaining portion of the command is displayed. Step 2. Enter global configuration mode. When in privileged exec mode, one of the commands starting with letter C is configured. Type either the full command or enough of the command to make it unique. Press the tab key to issue the command and press enter. Start config view. Press the enter to accept the default parameter that is enclosed in brackets. This is called global configuration mode. This mode will be explored further in upcoming activities and labs. For now, return to privileged exec mode by typing end, exit, or Control C. So let's type exit, and we're going to return to global configuration mode. And now let's proceed to part 3. Set the clock. Step 1. Use the clock command. Use the clock command to further explore help and command syntax. Type show clock at the privileged exec prompt. Type show clock. Use the context-sensitive help and the clock command to set the time on the switch to the current time. Enter the command clock and press enter. And press enter. The incomplete command message is returned by the iOS. This indicates that the clock command needs more parameters. Anytime more information is needed, help can provide by typing a space after the command and the question mark. Let's try this again and question mark. Let's we can set the time and date. Based on the information requested by issuing the clock set command enter a time of 3 p.m. by using the 24-hour format. The 24-hour format of 3 p.m. is 15. The output returns a request for more information. Day of the month of the year. So let's include the attempt to set the date to 01/31/2035. Using the format requested, it may be necessary to request additional help using the context sensitive. Help to complete the process when finished. Issue the show clock command to display the clock setting. The resulting command output should display as this. Let's enter. The day is 31. Let's set the year January. The year is 2035. Let's type show clock. Show clock. And now you can see it changes the date and the time. And that's conclude the first activity. In this activity, I learned how to establish basic connection, access the CLI, and explore help. Also on how to explore exec modes, and lastly is on how to set the clock. Now we move on to the next activity. The next activity is all about Packet Tracer configuring initial switch settings. And you can see here is the topology. Objective. Part 1. Verify the default switch configuration. Part 2. Configure a basic switch configuration. Part 3. Configure a MOTD banner. Part 4. Save configuration files to NVRAM. Part 5. Configure S2. Background. In this activity, you will perform basic switch configuration. You will secure access to the command line interface and console ports using encrypted and plain text passwords. You will also learn how to configure messages for users logging into the switch. These banners are also used to warn unauthorized users that access is prohibited. Part 1. Verify the default switch configuration. So now let's go to Packet Tracer. As you can see, I already done doing the topology. And let's start. Step 1. Enter privilege exact mode. You can access all switch commands from privilege exact mode. However, because of many privilege commands configure operating parameters, privilege access should be password protected to prevent unauthorized use. Privilege exec command set includes those commands contained in the user exec mode, as well as the configure command, through which access to the remaining command modes are gained. So let's click. This CLI. Enter previous exact mode by entering the enable command. Just enter enable. Notice that the prompt changed in the configuration to reflect privilege exact mode. Step 2. Examine the current switch configuration. Enter the show running config command. Enter. Part 2. Create a basic switch configuration. Step 1. Assign name to a switch. To configure parameters on a switch, you may be required to move between various configuration modes. Notice how the prompt changes as you navigate through the switch. Type configure. Hostname. Sit. Step 2. Secure access to the console line. To secure access to the console line, access config line mode and set the console password to let main. Enter. Config. Line console 0. Set the password to let main. Login. Exit. Exit again. Step 3. Verify that the console access is secured. Exit privilege mode to verify that the console port password is ineffective. Is in effect. Step 4. Secure privilege mode access. Set the enable password to syscode. This password protects access to privilege mode. Note that 0 in Cisco is a 0, not a capital 0. Oh, this password will not grade as correct until you encrypt in step 8. So put the password that way. and suppose enable computer Step 5. Verify that the privilege mode access is secure. Enter the exit command again to log out of the switch. Press enter and you will now be asked for a password. The first password is the console password you configure for line count 0. Enter this password to return to exec mode. Enter the command to access privilege mode. Enter the second password you configure to protect privilege exec mode. Verify your configuration by examining the contents of the running configuration file. Password. Start the Cisco. Step show running. Configure an encrypted password to secure access to privilege mode. The enabled password should be replaced with the newer encrypted secret password using the enable secret command. Set the enable secret password to it's a secret. Enable secret. It's a secret. Step 7. Verify that the enable secret password is added to the configuration file. Enter the show running config command again to verify the new enable secret password is configured. You can abbreviate show running config as encrypted the enable and console passwords. As you notice in step 7, the enable secret password was encrypted, but the enable and console passwords were still in plain text. We will now encrypt these plain text passwords in using the service password encryption command. Step config service password. Part 3. Configure a MOTD banner. Step 1. Configure a message of the day banner. The Cisco IS command set includes a feature that allows you to configure messages that anyone logging onto the switches sees. These messages are called Message of the Day or MOTD banners. Enclose the banner text in quotations or use a delimiter different from any character appearing in the MOTD string. So let's try that. Press enter. Secure system. Press X, type exit. Part 4. Save configuration files to NVRAM. Verify that the configuration is accurate using the show run command. Save the configuration file. You have completed the basic configuration of the switch. Now back up the running configuration file to NVRAM to ensure that the changes made are not lost if the system is rebooted or loses power. Copy running. Config start. Now we're done configuring S1. Uh, in part 5, I need to do the configuration on S2. It said that you have completed the configuration on S1. You will now configure S2. If you cannot remember the command, refer to part 1 to 4 for assistance. And these are the instructions. So I need to do a configuration again in order to configure S2. So now let's start configure S2. So I'm this, minimize this, press switch. The next switch, CLI. Here so we'll configure now the S2. Center, enable, figure, terminal, make post S2, press exit. It's now secure access to the console line. Terminal. Sit again. To verify that the console access is secure. Let's exit. Step 4, secure privilege mode access. Enable it again. Configure. Exit. Press the switch. Exit again. Enable. Then show running config. Show running config. Let's configure an encrypted password to secure access to the bridge mode. Config T. Let's enable the secret. It's secret. It's secret. Exit. Verify that the enabled secret password is added to the configuration file. Now show run. Let's now encrypt the enable and console password. And config T again. Service password. Encryption. Exit. Part 3, configure our MOTD banner. Configure a message of the day banner. So let's start. Config T banner MOTD. This is a secure system. Authorize access. Exit. Now let's proceed to part 4, set configuration files to NVRAM. Verify the configuration is accurate using the show run command. Save the configuration file. So let's save it. Copy. Running. Config. Start. Start up. Center. Yeah, now we're done configuring S2. Now I'm done to the configuration of S1 and S2. In this activity, I learned how to verify the default switch configuration, configure a basic switch configuration, configure a MOTD banner, and save configuration files to NVRAM. So now let's proceed to the next activity. The next activity is all about Packet Tracer implementing basic connectivity. Here's the topology, addressing table, objectives. Part 1, perform a basic configuration on S1 and S2. Part 2, configure the PCs. Part 3, configure the switch management interface. Background. In this activity, we'll first perform basic switch configuration. Then you will implement basic connectivity by configuring IP addressing on switches and PCs. When the IP addressing configure is complete, you will use various show commands to verify configuration and use the ping command to verify basic connectivity between devices. Part 1. Perform a basic configuration on S1 and S2. Complete the following steps on S1 and S2. Step 1. Configure S1 with the host name. Click S1 and then click the CLI tab. Enter the correct command to configure the host name. Host name is as S1. Let's start. Okay, start. So as you can see, I already done the topology. And let's press this. CLI. Center. Enable. 150. The next one is configure the console and privilege exec mode password. Use Cisco for the console password. Use class for privilege exec mode password. Password. Config. Next one is 50 again. First, let's see. Let's verify the enable password. Sure. And then let's configure an OTD banner. Use an appropriate banner text to warn unauthorized access. The following text is an example. First, banner on OTD is authorized. Proceed in the let's reduce. Step 5, save the configured file to NVRAM. So let's now save it to NVRAM. Let's enter and copy. Warning. Config. And now we're done configuring S1. So the next one is we will configure the S2. Let's just copy all this. Preview. Exit. Then config. Password. 50 again. Access violators be prosecuted to receive it to the NVROM copy. And now we're done to the configuration of S1 and S2. And if you want to check if your configuration is right, just type exit here, then press enter. As you can see, it's now need a password, so let's type the sys go, let's enable, then class, and put on a show run. You see it's okay and it's good. Let's try this. Sit again, Cisco enable and class, then show run. Yeah, they're all both okay. Also, let's now proceed to the next part. The next part is all about configure the PCs. Configure PC1 and PC2 with IP addresses. Step 1. Configure both PCs with IP addresses. Click PC1 and then click the desktop tab. Click IP configuration and addressing table above. You can see that the IP address for PC1 is 192.168.1.1 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Enter this information for PC1 in the IP configuration window. Repeat step 1 and 1A and 1B for PC2. So let's do that. And PC1, configuration, set it 192.168.1.1. Yeah, that's okay. PC2, 192.168.1.2. Okay, and it's okay. Step 2. Test connectivity to switches. Click PC1, close the IP configuration window if it's still open. In the desktop tab, click command prompt. Type in command and the IP address for S1 and press enter. PC1, command prompt, pin 192.168.1.253. Ping something. And as you can see, there is no reply because we need to configure first S1 and S2 with an IP address. And to do that, we should follow these steps. So let's open the switch 1. So let's exit this. Switch 1. Now press enter. Password. Let's enable. And then password again is yes. To do that, let's Computer terminal. Config interface plan IP address 192.168.253.255.255.0. Let's enter. No shutdown. Exit. Let's save the configuration for S1. So let's copy running Let's proceed now to S2. S2 again. Cisco enable class 50. And let's 50 interface plan 192.168.1.254, so 255.255.255.0. Shutdown. Exit again. And then save it to NVRAM. So copy running config start. Now we're done to configure S1 and S2 with an IP address. So let's now try. To ping it. This. Let's try to ping it now and let's see what's going to happen. So ping 192.168.1.2. Yeah, as you can see, there's now a reply, so means that our configuration is okay and it's good. So let's try another IP address. So okay, 192.168.1.254. S1, S2, S3, S1, okay, 192.168.1.2. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's replying. So let's try the PC2. Let's see what's PC2. Okay. PC2. One Pro. Let's ping 192.168. That 1.254. Yeah, it's also working. So let's try ping it again. 192.168. That one. That. Oh, and yeah, reply again. So it's good. And so again, ping 192.168.1.25. And yeah, it's okay. So we're done. And on this activity, I know how to implement basic connectivity to perform a basic configuration in S1 and S2. Configure the PCs, configure the switch management interface. And for my conclusion, I learned a lot about the packet tracer after doing the activities. I learned how to navigate the iOS, to configure initial switch settings, and on implementing basic connectivity. I know I can use all the knowledge I get from doing the activities and use them in the near future. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Till next time.